Toilet repairs can seem a little bit daunting. Now what are you doing? Hi, I'm Dakota Shafer with Structure Real Estate Group in Colorado Springs, and today we're going to start a two-part series on fixing a leaky toilet. And in this episode, we're going to go over if the leak happens between the tank and the bowl. So the first step in this process is just to rid all of the water from the toilet. And so the first step here is to go ahead and turn your toilet valve off, and that's going to be all the way to the right until it's tight. That shuts the water off to the toilet. Then go ahead and flush the toilet. Let all the water go through. And the last step is to get rid of all of the water in the tank. Now I have a wet dry vac that I'm going to do that with, but you can also use a cup or something like that to bail the water out. So if your toilet is leaking where the tank meets the toilet part, the most common issue is the bolts that hold the tank onto the toilet base, and over time those will rust through and then they start to leak. Now you can get new washers and bolts at the hardware store for like $4 or $5, and that's what we're going to replace today. The tools that are needed for that is usually a large screwdriver and then just a crescent wrench. So the parts that we're looking for to remove and replace are the bolts here and here. And so there's a nut on the underside of the toilet bowl that you'll put your crescent wrench on, and then take your large screwdriver and just undo them from the top. Okay, so I've removed the old bolts from the tank, and so we're ready to install the new ones and take care of this problem. This is the order that it needs to go in, and so the tank is loose right now. The bolt will go through the hole with the rubber washer on the inside of the tank, and then underneath the tank it's the steel washer and a nut, and then the bolt goes through the bottom of the bowl and you go rubber washer, steel washer, and then the new nut. So that's the order so that it doesn't leak and it also doesn't crack your bowl. Okay, so I've got the bolt down through with the rubber washer inside the tank, and then you want to tighten this nut nice and firm because that creates the seal between the tank and the exterior so you don't lose any water. Now another common problem that you can have with a leaky tank is this seal right here underneath the tank. That may need to be replaced as well. That's a fairly easy thing to do, and they're very cheap at the hardware store, but you have to take these bolts off to get to it, and then you can just replace that seal. So now the tank is back on the bowl, and the last step is to add a rubber washer over this bolt so that you don't crack the tank or the base, and then you do your steel washer and a nut and tighten all of that down. So now that we have the bolts nice and tight and the tank secured back to the bowl, go ahead and turn the water back on, let the tank fill up, and then check around the base with a paper towel to see if you have any leaks. If you don't have any leaks, you're good to go. If you do, you might need to tighten those bolts down again or the nuts up underneath the bowl itself and tighten those down to make sure that you have a good seal, and then double check with the paper towels and you should be good to go. Thanks for watching our video. If you have any questions at all, feel free to hit the contact button on our page or call the number on the screen. And we'd love to have you subscribe to our channel for more homeowner maintenance tips.